and welcome back to another episode of the iTunes Fanboy Podcast, or TIFP. TIFP! In this episode, we have all sorts of stuff to discuss, and as always, I am Teddy, aka the iTunes Fanboy. We also have TabbyCat406, who is also referred to as Tabby Pears and Milos, TabbyCat, Tabby, whatnot. Here, who is one of the hosts. I'm obviously one of the hosts. Did you say hello, Tabby Pears?
Yeah.
Alright, and we also have one of the other hosts, Alpha DeWolf, aka the Random Alpha.
Hello.
Who is also the editor of this podcast.
Yeah, how did I do with, well, I guess considering the timing, it was last week's episode.
Yeah. And of course we have a returning guest from Season 1 of the iTunes Fanboy Podcast. He is Jordan Riddles from the iPhone Fan.
Hi. I'm happy to be on again.
Yeah, so am I. Because this time we're gonna have all the people on. As last time we tried to have Tabby Pears, I tried to have both Tabby Pears and Jordan on. As this was before Alpha joined the podcast as a full-time host. We tried having both of them on, though. Of course, the first time we tried, the Jewish hacker hacked us, and when we tried,
the time we got hacked.
and the second time I tried, Tabby Pears wasn't available, so I just did it with Jordan.
Yeah.
Alright, well, the first news topic that I want to get into is that, again, the iPhone 15 is not going to be getting Touch ID.
I don't know.
Could have guessed it.
I'm not surprised.
Remember when that was rumored?
Yeah. Apple removes stuff for a reason.
Yeah, because Touch ID...
You know,
Well, just look at Alpha's eczema issue.
Yeah. It must suck to have, like, eczema on your, fingerprints.
Oh, I have it on more places than just my fingerprints, but yeah, it's... Oh, that actually around this time of the year it gets bad.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I actually
about that.
had it. I used to have that, years ago. But ever since, 2016, 2017, I just haven't had any, I don't know what happened. But
Yeah, for some people it can go away, though I have a feeling due to my family's history with eczema, I have a feeling I'm not getting rid of it anytime soon.
Yeah, I used to actually have it back in January and February of 2018 due to how dry my skin was because of how bad that winter was. Though it went away after that.
I see.
Yeah. And speaking of, what did you say, Jordan?
but about the Touch ID thing, you know how big the power buttons are on the iPad Air when Touch ID?
Yeah, that's going to be an issue because it's going to get all scratched up eventually.
Yeah, I have my...
Imagine putting that big of a power button on an iPhone. People actually use cases on their phones.
Yeah, and the other issue is it's going to make the power button stick out of the iPhone. It'll be like the camera.
Yeah, because I actually have an iPad Air 5, and you can tell just how... And again, you guys on the call... I'll turn my video feed on for a second so that way you guys can see how big the power button on it is.
I think Teddy's gone again. I can't hear him
Oh,
at all.
shoot.
Ah.
I thought we...
Okay. Well, okay, I guess I can't turn my video feed on, but...
Yeah, okay, so I guess you better leave your video off in order to hear ya.
Yeah, my
This is the
internet...
kind of stuff that was happening when FaceTime went down back in, April. Constantly. Remember when it consistently went down?
Oh, yes, I used to go down every
This
2
is
weeks.
exactly what used to happen, but I think I could see video, I couldn't hear any microphone, and
Yeah.
sometimes it would just error out. So,
Yeah,
Maybe FaceTime is just giving us up and letting us down.
Yeah, I think it's because I'm recording a video on my computer and my computer is trying it so it gets confused. I think that's why, because I've had that issue before.
could be.
That's not too unreasonable.
Yeah, well, getting back, and speaking of getting in the colder months, at least in the northern hemisphere, if you're in the southern hemisphere, you don't experience this, but in the northern hemisphere, at this time of year, but in the northern hemisphere, this is actually, it's starting to get colder because I'm looking outside my desk right now and I actually see an almost completely bare tree outside.
Yeah, it's called fall.
Yeah, which I don't really like fall because it stays beautiful for the first couple weeks and then afterwards it just turns dreary. And in fact,
Plus, you can't see any of the like amazing sights after like 5 p.m. when the sun goes down, and that's part of that gets me mad.
that is true, and yeah, it's true. Which luckily daylight savings time will fix that. So being the default will fix that. Luckily, though, I'm also wearing slippers for the first time since March, and I need to get new slippers because my current slippers are getting too small for me. Though.
Why you got slippers?
Yeah, I'm wearing slippers because my feet are getting pretty cold.
Oh, like indoor slippers?
Yep.
Back when I was in the basement of the house, the floor was concrete, so I actually had to wear slippers down there all the time.
Yeah, I used to.
My basement is carpet, and my like bedroom is unfortunately hardwood.
My bedroom is hardwood too because I prefer hard because it's impossible to keep a bedroom of carpet clean though.
My bedroom.
Yeah, tell me about it.
In my bedroom, I have like the softest carpet ever, and I feel like it literally has to be vacuumed.
Better than having little things like screws fall off your desk and make massive imprints in your floor. And then once in a while you'll step on something from hardwood and it'll hurt.
That's
Oh, and then if you ever move your furniture around, get used to big scratch marks that you gotta take hours to paint over.
Oh yeah, and
What a nightmare.
schools actually used to
hate hardwood.
have carpets in them oftentimes, though of course because of allergies they had to change that.
Yeah.
At my school, in the hallways, it's like hard floors. And then in the classrooms, it's like this very, very thin carpet. Can you picture it?
Yeah,
Like it's not soft whatsoever. It may as well just be a hard floor.
that sounds like what a school feels like, though. Though my bedroom, because it's right by the vents, it's always the coldest room in the winter and it's always the coldest room in the house most of the time, or the warmest. It's consistent about that. But getting back on topic, I wanted to discuss the potential of the iPhone 15 Ultra's rumors for dual front cameras.
I mean, it would make sense.
What do you do in two front-facing cameras?
You can
Pixel 3 ultra wide, and that would be pretty cool because a lot of people like ultra wide cameras and use the back camera for photos.
Another use for dual front cameras is that you could have it ultimately replace a second lens could ultimately replace all the IR sensors and such used for Face ID.
How?
Well, Tylos of Tech, you'd have to watch Tylos of Tech's video on it to understand really.
Alright.
What happens when those front-facing cameras get too good and they need a bump them?
What now?
A bump.
What happens when those front-facing cameras get too good and they have to like have a camera bump for the front cameras?
Oh, that's the
Oh
day.
my god.
That's the day I
Oh.
switched to Windows Phone.
That's the day I throw my iPhone out the window.
We're already complaining about camera bumps on the back as is, Apple. Fix that.
I remember when
Like, what
the
is-
iPhone 6 came out and everybody hated the camera bump.
That's nothing.
I don't think they would be that mad nowadays.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen when they have to keep making those back cameras better and better, but they can't keep making them bigger because it's actually gonna impair the user experience? What are they gonna have to do to fix that?
They're gonna have to make the phones bigger, or they're gonna have to make software better. And I'm not buying a bigger phone, so they better make software better.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe they could like kind of put the cameras inside the phone and make it thicker.
Yeah, they could. I guess they could make the phone thicker. You know, I already think the 14 Pro is too big.
Yeah.
Well, whatever they do next with cameras, I hope they get rid of this stupid, ugly design on the back.
Yeah.
I hope they just make it like the 10s and whatever. Like just
For the
Me
Pro
too.
iPhones. For the Pro iPhones, you hate it?
I hate it for, well, I hate it more on the Pros, but I also, yeah, it's not as bad on the normal ones, but they're still not great.
I don't understand why they couldn't just add a third lens to the iPhone 10 style camera and just make it a bit deeper. Samsung did it with the Note 10 Plus and it looked amazing.
Yeah, and
Well, like the physical cameras, they're like a lot bigger than the
Just make it.
cameras.
I mean, I'm looking at my 14 Pro right now. All I would have to do is extend the glass up a bit, make that a solid color, get rid of those stupid stainless steel rims around the camera, and if you have like a Pro or a Pro Max, like your phone right now, cover that all with black, glass, and you would literally have something that's 2 times better.
I don't think that's that bad of an idea. I actually think that's a good idea.
Neither do I.
I mean, I guess the SE3 is the last iPhone with a good camera design because it doesn't have that stupid one, but I just gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of stretching it because, I mean, that camera is, I mean, the design, it looks nice, but it's kind of limited in terms of capability compared to the others, but
What, the SE3?
yeah,
Yeah,
it looks nice, but it's limited.
Yeah, I actually had an SE3 for a while back in July as a temporary phone, and oh god, the cameras on that thing let me down a lot. It's when I realized I needed better cameras on my phone.
I'm sure the battery was a big letdown too.
Oh no, the battery was fine. Battery
Really?
was just fine. No issues with battery on that thing whatsoever.
Yeah, Apple fixed it with the SE3.
Yeah, I had absolutely.
But I thought 5G just killed it.
No, because it's actually not real 5G. It is like I believe it's the low wave 5G, like the lowest end 5G, the one that
Really?
doesn't kill battery. It's pretty.
That's
much
not millimeter wave?
I don't
Yeah.
believe so. I think that Apple specs confirm that it's not, and also it doesn't have the millimeter wave antenna on the side. But going back to
Oh yeah, that's true.
yeah, I'd say the 8 Plus is probably better than the SE3 in a lot of ways, though. Just
Oh, totally.
yeah, the SE3 is just so small. Like I can get away with using a mini phone just fine, but 4.7 inches. Like seriously, you couldn't just make it like at least 4.8 or 5 inches.
I tried going back to this display on my iPod Nano. It's not fun.
Personally, I have an iPhone 12 mini, and that's my daily phone. And people say the
12 mini's
battery
great.
life, is absolutely trash. But it's not that bad. I just charge it overnight, and then for school it works fine.
Yeah,
But I do recall that when I had iOS 15.4, it was the worst battery ever.
yeah, I had
Remember
a 12
that.
mini for a while, and I had no issues with my 12 mini, no issues with my 13 mini, no issues with my 14 Pro. Although my 14 Pro battery is degrading pretty quickly.
Yeah, I saw your review on it.
Yeah.
And what
It's a nice phone.
you hated the most was how big the camera was.
Yeah.
The thing I hate the most about the 14 is what's on the front.
It doesn't
The
actually.
dynamic
So
island.
I don't hate it just because they made it look just like the notch, just with a little bit of extra space up top. It's more like a floating design, and honestly, I still wish they just made the original notch smaller, but
Yeah, well, my thoughts on that. I mean, I've decided, okay, if this is going to be the future of iPhone design going forward, because that's typically what Apple does, okay, fine. I'll look at it hard for a long period of time and actually see if I can like it. And I keep looking at it, I keep staring at it, and the thing that I keep realizing is Dynamic Island, it's cool. It really is. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen in terms of integrating display irregularity into the user experience. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's just, I don't think the camera hole was the best way to do it. Hole, pill, and the biggest thing that I keep looking back at is it's the same reason why, well, one of the same reasons why I hate pill holes and punch holes altogether. It's all because there's room to shove it further out of the middle of the phone where all your content is.
Yeah.
And I do notice it every single time. Every time I look at that phone, I do feel like the display is more crowded. My content is more crowded by that little display irregularity.
Yeah, so I've been using it for a month now. A month pretty much.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from because I get that. There's one phone I had in specific. I don't remember. Oh, it was like the S8, where all that crap that Android throws at the top, you can't get that off your content. It'll burn into your screen if you have too much crap.
Oh, yeah.
Is it the same type of theory, like the same type of thing? It's just really annoying to have it there and not being able to get rid of it.
Yeah, that is another thing to worry about too.
The thing here is, it blends into your content. I wish there was a way to disable it in software, kind of.
Me
I wouldn't do
too.
it, but I understand there's people that do. And it's a really cool feature. Don't get me wrong, but right now, on 16.0.3, which is the latest version, I'm on 16.0.3 waiting for 16.1. You can't do much. You can skip timers, skip music, see your album art up there. There's not really that much. Control phone calls, which is more complicated, but it's cool, but it just feels so much like iOS 11, and it just kind of feels like something that's cool, but not going to be useful for another year or two.
Yeah, I think iOS 11, I think it was a good upgrade that pushed the iPhone forward, but initially it was total crap.
I never had issues with iOS 11 on my 7 Plus, but I don't know, that's just me.
Yeah. And of course, on Alpha's iPod Touch 6, iOS 11 disabled his iPod Touch's touchscreen, sort of.
I wouldn't say disabled. I'd say it just put it on the fritz. Sometimes it would not respond to my finger. Sometimes it would phantom touch. Sometimes I would scroll one direction and it'd scroll all the way back to the top. It was just on the fritz.
Oh yeah, that's the kind of crap I'm dealing with on iOS 16 with this phone.
You want to remember how with iOS 11 Beta 1 there was a problem where if you downgraded back it would brick your phone?
I don't remember all that.
I remember hearing about that.
How did you hear about that if you weren't interested in Apple devices until September 2019?
You definitely read my bio on my site. But I was reading about it like 5 years after that thing happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so what I'm pretty much saying is iOS 16 has the most annoying issues ever. Your screen will go crazy out of nowhere. I was trying to show my dad something a few days ago. Screen went blank, half of it showed, half of it didn't. And it's software because it thought that I was rotating the phone, and then the rotation stopped midway in the animation.
I've actually experienced that.
It's like, why even have such a nice phone if you're just gonna throw garbage software on it? It honestly makes me want to stay with like a 13 Pro just because of the software, just because of how much better iOS 15 was. But all my issues after I made that video, except for like a couple minor ones, disappeared. It's like Apple knows what I'm doing.
Yeah, again, but I thought you said that back when iOS 15.3.1 was current, that iOS 15 was the worst iOS release ever.
Well, that was back in, February. And then 15.4 came out and fixed all my issues, and 15.4.1 would have fixed Jordan's battery issue, because that fixed power trip. I actually never updated my 13 Pro to 15.4.1 because I was so scared of another 15.3.1 happening, I never updated that thing again.
Yeah, so, yeah. Yep, in fact, that's why I haven't even upgraded to iOS 16 on anything. My iPhone is still running iOS 15.4.1, and my iPad is still running iPadOS 15.4. What did you say, Tabby?
I thought your phone was on 15.2.
Nope, it was on 15.1, though I updated to 15.4.1 on accident.
Ah, how do you like it?
Yeah.
It's alright. I've had a few issues with it, though I think it's hardware related.
My phone, I'm running 16.1, and surprisingly, I have very few issues with it. And for my iPad. Yeah, what?
Oh.
I thought your iPad was still running iPadOS 14, Jordan.
As for my iPad, it's still running 14.8.1. Because initially, the day before iPadOS 15 came out, I upgraded the beta because I couldn't wait. And I saw that it, made my apps, it kind of squished them together.
Oh, yes, I hate that so much.
And that totally pissed me off, and I couldn't stand it.
Yeah, you can actually
I literally was so pissed. I was, crying, basically. And I downgraded that stupid thing to 14.8, and then 14.8.1 came out. And I upgraded to that.
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah,
How do you...
It's in home screen settings, actually. They added that in, iOS 14 or 15, whatever it was. I have got no idea. Wait, Teddy, can you check real quick to make sure I'm not geeking out?
You are not.
Alright.
But another thing I hated was the side widget bar. They removed that for home screen widgets.
Yeah.
Yes, you're speaking my language now, Jordan. That's why I kept my iPad 7th generation on iPadOS 13.1.1, and that's why this iPad I still haven't done any upgrades to, because...
Oh, yeah.
Because look how ugly this home screen looks. Aside from Alpha's wallpaper, but look how ugly the icons are.
What icons? The 15 icons?
Yeah.
Icons, I mean. I honestly don't think they're that bad.
Or I meant, look how squished together they are. It's not as bad as on my iPad Pro now at 7 inches, which also runs iPadOS 15, though. It's still... Though it's still pretty bad.
I've hated iOS 7's icons ever since it came out.
Yeah.
If I was to know back in 2013 or whatever that I would be dealing with this every day in 8 years, I probably would have switched to Android. I probably would have bought an S5.
But would you really want to deal with TouchWiz? Really?
Well, they call it TouchWiz for a reason.
I think iOS 7 would be miles better than TouchWiz.
It probably was, but
very bad design.
It probably was. Not like I could have used it on my iPhone 3G, but I mean for my iPad Mini, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, well, getting back on the news, Apple launched some new MagSafe charger firmware.
What?
They released some new MagSafe charger firmware.
Okay.
And, but getting back on top, but covering some more relevant news, Apple not having an October event like rumors have been suggesting, it still makes not a lot of sense, but also some sense. Yeah, because there's enough products. There's enough products coming out for an October event.
And the iPad 10th generation, I would think it has a redesign. I think that'd be worth an event.
You want to know what I'll bet? I'll bet maybe they're going to pull another Apple Watch Series 7 on us, and maybe the iPad 10th generation isn't getting a redesign.
I don't think
Yeah,
it will.
maybe last minute, like 3 days before it's said to be announced, the rumors go back.
It's not going to get a redesign, I don't think, because what was the point? You know, I know a lot of people have covered this, but truly, there's no point in buying an iPad Air if the iPad 10th gen gets a redesign.
Yeah.
The iPad Air already is, you know, I don't think it's that useful compared to the iPad Pro, but if you put like an iPad 10th generation in there, $300, $400, even $500, I think it would be worth it over the iPad Air.
Yeah. And Apple's still rumored to keep the ugly freaking home button on it.
That will make the iPad Air worth it.
Like that. I think Apple's going. Yeah, I don't think Apple's going to probably have to keep the bezels around in order to help the iPad Air succeed. Or I've got another prediction.
I mean, I'll say this. Since 2010 when the iPad came out, there's been that classic iPad look. I don't think they're going to change that because everybody knows it when they see it. What is it, you know, when you see an iPad Pro next to a Galaxy Tab with both of them with a case on from front view without like an OS showing, they look the same. You can't tell them apart.
I've even mixed them up.
But you know the dynamic island on the iPhone 14. You know, they changed it like kind of big change. And they said in the event, we're sure it's gonna become iconic. I feel like it already kind of is.
Yeah.
Unless you have one of those stupid Android apps that.
Oh my gosh.
Those are stupid.
Hi, man.
Some of them don't even do a good job.
Why would anybody want to make their Android look like an iPhone? You buy an Android because you.
Well, that's what all of the Android manufacturers think. They all think, oh, let's just make an iPhone clone.
iPhone 7 or something instead of a Galaxy.
An iPhone SE3
Yeah.
is a good option. Maybe a refurbished SE2 could be even better.
Yeah, the SE2 is a killer deal if you're willing to deal with bad battery life.
When I used the SE2 back in 2020, I really didn't have any issues with it. Or with the battery.
Yeah.
I guess that was because I didn't really care about battery, and I still don't.
Yeah, that iPhone SE2, I think Apple released it 100% in the right time. Because at that point, I feel like most of the newer iPhones were pretty expensive.
And that was
buy the iPhone 8, but that was like 2 or 3 years out of date.
And
then people wanted a cheaper phone.
Especially during
they wanted one that was fast, and that's what they did.
And especially during and you have to keep in mind the SE2 released in April of 2020 in the midst of a pandemic. So you have to remember that a lot of people at this point were out of jobs and needed money.
Yeah.
Well, however, if Apple is just going to do press releases on their products, we've already gotten a week that is confirmed, which is the week of October 24th. Is that as the almost confirmed date for iPadOS 16.1 to be releasing. Finally.
Did he say confirmed?
What?
Did he say confirmed?
No, Apple isn't almost confirmed. I think Mark Gurman confirmed it, though Apple is not confirmed.
I'm done playing Mark Gurman's reindeer games.
So am I. Because this is the guy that said that there was going to be an... I'm sorry that I sound a little bit like John Prosser right now, but this is the guy that said that there was going to be an October Apple event, and now he's saying that maybe there won't be one. That was a horrible impression.
My thing with Gurman is his...
leaks change all the time.
My thing with Gurman is his Series 7 leak.
Oh, yes! Apple called it a classic. Yeah. The Series 7 leak, as we all know, is totally inaccurate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing that drives me mad about him... Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing that just bugs me about Gurman was he was one of the people who had supposedly confirmed Apple Watch Series 7 was going to have flat sides along with Prosser and Kuo-Ming Chi. Yeah. He was one of the people who had supposedly confirmed it was going to have flat sides. And how does he act now when he somehow mentions, I don't know, leaks and rumors or kind of brings up the Series 7 incident? Oh, yeah, he completely forgot that he screwed that one up, too.
Never mind.
Huh?
I thought he was the one that leaked the iPhone 14 design.
Oh, a year early?
I can't remember. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, Prosser leaked it a year early.
Yeah, it was Prosser in the video. He had sources, apparently.
Yeah.
The iPhone 10 got leaked a year early. Over a year early. Before we were even done with the 7, we were talking about the 10. At that time, it was the iPhone 8.
Yeah. I feel like the most accurate thing we got about the iPhone 14, far before its release, was finding. I remember reading in January of this year that the non-Pro 14 will have the new notch redesign, and that wound up being correct.
I think the main thing is no SIM card slot and the satellite radio country music thing that you can do.
Yeah. It's not for listening to country music. It's for connecting. It's for reaching out to emergency services or sending texts with their stupid 50-character limits.
Apparently.
Yeah, we're using satellites, so orbiting like 70, 100 miles up. You have to connect, and there can be nothing
70
in
to
the way.
100 miles up. I'd say more like 500 to 750 miles up, if I was being honest.
That's even more realistic.
Yeah, but
hell, I wouldn't doubt if they're thousands of miles up with how space
thousands
works.
of miles up. Not even the space station orbits that far.
I mean, think of it like this: satellites usually don't really have to be in view, so I wouldn't doubt if they're relatively high up.
You know what? I'm gonna Google it.
All right.
yeah.
Okay. It says typically. Oh God, it's in kilometers.
Oh God.
I can do a conversion.
Okay,
I can do a
it says
kilometers
the ones
conversion.
In between, it says the majority of satellites orbiting Earth do so at altitudes between 160 and 2,000 kilometers.
So
That
2,000.
narrows it down.
oh, did Alpha have his AirPods Max in his last podcast episode?
Nope.
Yeah, he got those.
Yep. That would be a total of 1,250 miles.
Wow. What about 160 kilometers?
160 divided by 1.6. That's about 100.
Yeah, like 100
Um,
to 2,000 miles.
Tabby had to rejoin.
Yeah, my whole thing just.
That is kind of high up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my recording just glitched out, so.
Yeah.
Well, what I get for using an old Mac.
Yep.
Why couldn't you just use the MacBook Pro?
Well, see, the thing is, I know there's going to be a new Mac, right? And I didn't want my Mac to go out of return date. So, I didn't want my MacBook Pro to go out of the return date. So, the Mac Pro is probably my only option.
So you returned it?
Yeah, because I wanted to get the M2 MacBook Pros, right? Because, it's better to just have the latest if it's going to be the same price. Then why wouldn't I just wait a few weeks and buy the latest?
Okay, I guess that's logical thinking.
Yep.
Though personally, I don't even know if I really need any more performance than what my MacBook Pro's already given me. It's ridiculous.
I don't need more performance. I just thought, if they're going to be the same price, I already have this. It's in the return date. I can wait another 2 weeks and get, a 2022 MacBook Pro, which will probably fare a lot better. Probably going to have the newer CPU, just a bit of extra room.
And it'll probably have fewer issues.
Hopefully it has a touch bar.
And I'm out here trying to save for an M1 MacBook Air.
Why not an M2? Because the M1 might be discontinued by the time you have enough money.
I don't feel like paying an extra $200 for something that has thermal issues.
Well, I'm willing to bet that the M2 MacBook Air, like the previous generation, will go back down to eventually $1,000.
Yeah.
Because something that most people seem to have forgotten all of a sudden, 2018 was when the previous generation MacBook Air was launched. It started at also $1,200. Next year, when they updated it, they dropped the price $100, and then the year after that, another $100. So it was back to $1,000.
And now we're back at $1,200.
With the redesign. So I would assume that it would eventually walk its way back down to $1,000.
Yeah.
Why does it drives me nuts that most
MacBook Air will come out by the time I'm done saving.
Yeah.
I have a paper airplane business. That's how I'm trying to save up. So it's definitely gonna take a lot of time.
Yeah. Why not just ask for a Mac for Christmas?
You know what? I think that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
I was lucky to get tires for Christmas.
Yeah. Obviously, Jordan, you would probably want to keep your fund just in case you don't get it, though. Yeah, you should seriously ask for a MacBook for Christmas, as then you could even ask for a 16-inch 2022 MacBook Pro if you really wanted to.
God.
And you could treat yourself.
You know, I just realized one of my friends, Salt Pepper, I just remembered all of a sudden now. His old 15-inch MacBook Pro had died on him, and his parents got him the new 16-inch. At the time it was the Intel was the latest, but the Intel 16-inch. They got him that one brand new. I'm like, what? Why? That's $2,400. They spent that much on a Christmas present for a what?
I mean, yeah. If it is gonna last a while, then if you get 200 or 2,500 days of use of it, it only ends up to be about $1 a day.
Yeah.
Well, I'd assume that thing's gonna hold up pretty well for him, actually. So, but yeah, oh jeez.
They're indestructible.
Yeah.
I can 100% guarantee you I'm done with Windows for good.
What?
I can guarantee you I'm 100% done with Windows.
Yeah,
I wish I was.
So are the rest of us, as Alpha's mentally done with it. He's not physically done with Windows, though.
Like, well, I'm physically and mentally done with Windows. Like in July, there was a problem with the Photos app. Would not open. Opened it, crashed, and it just went on. And I even sent you a video of it happening. And that was when I was working on a major update to my website. So I had to go through the stupid file explorer to find a bunch of images.
Yeah, see,
It was
my
a
issue
nightmare.
with Windows is all this crap that they end up throwing in the OS for no reason. It just doesn't
Yeah.
work. It's all this junk. They put in all this garbage.
Yeah, I
It doesn't
spent
work.
like an hour on the phone with tech support.
They're never gonna do
And they
anything.
couldn't solve it, and they said, and this guy, he said that my issue, they couldn't solve it because Windows 11 hadn't been properly optimized for my HP, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, so see,
I was like,
my issue there is
this is not your fault, this is Microsoft's fault. And I lost it.
if Microsoft thinks that, oh, we can give you this OS, we can put it on these nice Surface laptops, but the issue with the OS is nobody knows how to fix the damn things.
Yeah, and I can't even
What
get
is the
that
point in giving us?
goddamn Windows 10.
Yeah,
Because,
what is
like,
the point in
bruh,
giving us this junk?
I don't care about, I don't know, getting easier multitasking. I just want my stupid Photos app to work properly.
99% of the people just want that.
Yeah, people want everything
Yeah.
to work properly in Windows.
Yeah, nobody cares about your rounded corners, Microsoft.
No one cares about this, aren't
Just
they trying
shut
to
up
put,
and
like,
take an
ads?
extra year of development time.
What they should have actually
Oh,
done...
and by the way, Microsoft, nobody cares about Edge. Nobody cares about all your other Microsoft exclusive branded apps. Nobody cares about Teams. All we want is the stupid platform to work. And the fact that I can get macOS Catalina.
Oh, and then they put Microsoft Edge on the Mac. Like, people are gonna want that.
It's a ridiculous thing.
Microsoft Edge.
The thing I don't even understand.
Guys,
Oh, and then Microsoft Edge forced itself to open on startup. There was no way for me to disable it back when I had it on my MacBook Pro. Couldn't right-click in the dock, couldn't do anything.
So, something that I even find ridiculous.
Using Windows.
Yeah, I don't even know how I managed to do it. But somehow, this thing is running macOS Catalina, and it shouldn't be because this is an 09 iMac. It obviously shouldn't run Catalina. It runs way better than Windows 10, and so far with my experience, Windows 11, I'm going to try to reserve those judgments for the next rant. But somehow this thing runs even better than those brand new high-end systems. How is this possible?
My Mac Pro 2009 runs faster than my 2021 Lenovo laptop, which I was given.
oh geez, and
2021.
don't forget...
In 2021, I remember my stupid HP, like I said, whatever the hell it is. It had this problem. It would not connect to Wi-Fi. It would take me 10 minutes to connect to the stupid network.
My ThinkPad had that same issue.
Same with my Dell.
Connect to my goddamn Wi-Fi. It was so difficult for connecting to Wi-Fi.
Why even use Edge if you can't connect to Wi-Fi?
Just get my Wi-Fi to work properly, Microsoft. And then I went to Windows 11 and the issue disappeared.
Yeah.
I haven't had that disappear.
You were not on Windows 10, right?
When I was doing a Safari versus Firefox versus Chrome versus Microsoft Edge speed test on my 2013
I
MacBook
bet my money on Safari.
Air. This was 2 years ago, mind you, when I didn't have any better Macs to run it on. And do you want to guess which web browsers were the fastest and which were the slowest?
I'm going to guess Safari was the fastest.
Edge was the slowest, Chrome was the second slowest, and Firefox and Safari tied.
Wait, what OS was that on? Was it on the latest Mac OS?
Yeah, it was on Catalina.
remember that.
Safari
Yep.
for Windows, RIP.
I never got the opportunity to try it.
Back when it was the Lion days, I believe, right? Maybe it was, like late Lion, maybe Mountain Lion.
In 2012, they got rid of it.
Yeah,
So just for
randomly.
remembers.
One day it existed, one day it didn't.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same thing for a bunch of Windows features.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like
Or whatever Google does with their hardware.
And software.
Issues I have with Samsungs. They get rid
Teddy.
of everything with their hardware.
Yeah.
Teddy.
Yeah.
Remember when I was on the podcast in May, I was screaming about how bad Chrome OS is?
Oh, yes.
I'd like to report back to you that my school issued Chromebook. It's the best Chromebook I've ever used. It's so fast.
Oh no. My school got my school's cheap Chromebooks. First of all, I mentioned this before on my podcast, but the oldest ones that they have there, which is from 2016, they have the most worn out trackpads I've ever seen, even more worn out than my black book. Oh no, don't
Yeah,
invite
but-
this kid.
Oh no, not that number again. Get out of here.
Yeah, but in 5th grade, our Chromebooks, my 5th grade Chromebooks that we had to use, they were like these old Chromebooks from 2017. Half of them didn't even have touch screens or even retina displays, whatever Google calls them. And they're like the slowest thing ever, and you have to sign in as a new user each time, usually. And it would take forever to load up, it would install a stupid Play Store. And those things were always out of storage.
Yeah,
I feel like the only thing those Chromebooks were good at was being a frisbee, which is what you wanted to do with them sometimes.
Yeah, my school got new. Yeah, my school Chromebooks. First of all, whenever I log into my school account on any Chromebook, a lot of the keys don't work on it. Secondly,
In
second-
5th grade,
Secondly, another issue is that, with the newest Chromebooks that they have, which are these Lenovo Chromebooks, I don't know what it is with them, but they're so slow. And they also have, I think this was a CTL Chromebook, which again is a Chinese company. That one of my classmates just today, she was having an issue where it was actually where the keys wouldn't input correctly, and I think these were brand new Chromebooks, mind you.
oh, the big box.
Yep. So, if you think my school needs better computers, you are very correct.
Honestly, I think the Chromebooks they have are just fine.
I
I think the restrictions, I think they
I think
could.
all Chromebooks
I
are pretty
think
junk.
I
Me too.
think the restrictions they put on those things, I think they could tune those down a bit.
Ah.
Like I can't even go in icon design or turn
Does
off
anybody remember the
the
Pixel book or
automatic
whatever?
Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Oh my god.
$1,000 Chromebook!
$1,000 for this.
You can get the Pixel book with an i7.
And then they had some like cheap plastic one that looked like the 2010 iMac after that.
Mind you, they're
Oh my
still made
gosh.
out of plastic.
Yeah, so are the ones at my school and my personal Chromebook.
Like, I think you just have a problem if you're going to try to sell a computer at $1,000 that's made out of plastic. Always fix that first, Google.
Yes.
And then them having a dumbed-down operating system that doesn't do anything, they market it as being a simple computer. Short is when you can't get it to stop installing Google Play.
Oh my gosh, that issue drives me nuts.
Yeah, like, nobody cares about Google Play.
Luckily,
Like,
my-
stop-
Luckily, my Chromebooks at school, they actually have a lot of school limits on them, so luckily there is no Google Play to deal
Oh,
with.
thank God, you're lucky. An angel.
Well, that just makes them more useless.
No.
What
Yeah.
do you do with Google Play? Install? I don't know. Angry Birds. I'm sure. half
Well, the
the
truth
time
is
I
Chrome
don't
OS
know.
overall is
There's actually...
Chrome OS overall is useless.
Yeah.
I mean,
One
as
of my
long
friends-
as
It is just a glorified web browser with
Yeah.
system applications.
Yeah.
They are literal web pages displaying as an application.
Yeah.
I swear to God, the
Serious.
settings application, it's a web page, but it looks like
Yes.
an app.
Oh my god.
I've actually had a
It's
bug.
modified Chrome browser.
Yeah, I've actually had a bug where I tried to open the settings app on the Chromebook, and instead it opened the settings tab in the Google Chrome.
That's even a thing? That shouldn't
Yeah.
exist on Earth.
And what's
Like, how is that possible? How did it... Did the Chromebook have a stroke or what? It can use the settings page in Chrome.
Yes.
Apparently.
App, with quotes.
Yeah, and what's even funnier is that my school's Chromebook security is so locked down that obviously so insecure that a lot of the sites obviously are blocked, but one of my friends actually
what a
created a
nightmare.
Google site where you can play all sorts of online games for them because they basically take web pages and then get them to load through Google sites to bypass the school's blockage. Like, I'm like, seriously, that's how weak your security is? We know Google is not secure.
I think that's an FU to the school technology team. Like, kids in school do that all the time. Like those stupid restrictions that are son of a... Like, who
It's
even...
like the IT
Like, why do
people
they...
do it, right?
Why do you have the school Wi-Fi network set as the default one? Why will you always connect when I don't want you to? And second, I think schools should resort to blocking sites individually
Yeah.
from their Wi-Fi, not from the Chromebook itself. Like, that's at home, my main device is a Chromebook. Because long story short, I don't use my HP anymore. Long story short, that's out of order.
How's that out of
I think
order?
schools should just resort to blocking sites from their Wi-Fi. Like, kids are gonna do who knows what, or go on those soft sites on their iPad or something. Like, it's totally useless.
Yeah. How's your HP out of order, Jordan?
Probably Windows.
Long story short, I dropped it.
No. And Windows.
Screen crack.
I don't want to get into that.
You are frickin' kidding me.
What, Alpha?
You guys know this person, don't you?
What
Who is
person?
it?
Get out of my phone.
Oh
Who is
no!
it?
Oh no! We know who it is.
Please, for the love of God, for the love of the universe, don't let it be the frickin' Jewish hacker.
Something tells me it is.
The Jewish hacker is here. I'm so scared. Alright, well.
The Jewish hacker, you get a life and stop harassing people who are just trying to be chill and having a podcast.
What does he want?
Like, what is this
He's-
guy's problem? This is frickin' harassment.
Yeah.
What does he want from you?
Not really anything.
And I'm sure at least one of you is under the age of 18 right now. And that is harassing a child.
Yeah, I'm technically
Because I know that everyone here except for me is getting harassed by
Yeah.
the Jewish hacker.
I'm 14 and Tabby Pears is 15. Alpha's in
What's he
the.
doing?
It's just-
like Mr. Donkey Hole or whatever.
No, it's a phone number, actually.
You know the Jewish hacker? The time we got hacked
Yeah.
and that podcast ended horribly. I was so pissed that I started doing my own police investigation,
Oh,
basically.
So did
I
I.
may as well just been a private investigator. And I was like going to these reverse lookup sites, like the phone numbers that
Is he
Abby
actually
was
Jewish?
sending me, all the screenshots of those messages.
Of course
like,
he is not
for
actually
2 years.
Jewish.
And I looked, yeah, I know, and I looked up the numbers on some reverse site, and guess what? Those numbers were issued by Talkatone or Text Now. I think it was Text Now for free.
Oh, that junk.
So we know you're secret Jewish hacker. We know you're not Jewish.
We know you were in
Even so,
India.
hacker posts, and we know that you are using Text Now. life and stop harassing.
What does he want
Especially
from you?
people in the
I don't know.
That's my message to you, hacker.
Whatever he wants, he's not getting it.
Yeah, what?
What's he doing? Is he like trying to call you?
No, he just sent texts.
What does it say?
I really don't want to entertain this idea because that's... Oh, shoot, he's... New number. Okay, how many numbers do I have to block? Jeez.
That's the Jewish hacker for you. However, as the Jewish hacker keeps bugging Alpha, how about we try to get while we're trying to get the Jewish hacker away, we talk about how Logitech accidentally spilled let a cat out of the bag about the new iPad Pro.
By the way, Teddy,
Yeah?
about the hacking thing, have you gotten any further information?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, but yeah, Logitech spilled a cat out of the bag in terms of the iPad Pro it's about to release.
Oh.
They let
We know where this is going. Didn't they list a case for the 2022 iPad Pro?
Yep, they let the cat out of the bag.
What does it have?
Too bad they didn't share any images. That would have been epic.
Yeah, and some accessory makers are already making iPad 10th generation accessories.
Oh, you can actually buy them?
Yep, in Japan at least.
Are they official?
Yeah.
Or are they some nobody making cases?
I mean, isn't MFI certified?
Nope.
Then it's not really confirmed.
Yeah, they're probably just going off some CADs if they Google.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, they probably are though. Oh yeah, by the way, did I forget to tell you guys that my AirPods Pro last night had a muffling sound where one of them was muffling.
Your originals?
Yep.
Can Apple just give us one day if things working properly?
Apparently not.
Yeah. Yeah, my AirPods Pro have tons of issues. I need new AirPods, and I was originally going to get AirPods Pro 2 on launch day. However, this thing has decided to start failing on me, so you know what that means.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, well, Apple is again rumored to push the new Mac Pro until 2023. And the reason why I'm using air quotes is because we've discussed this on this podcast before. Apple's going to discontinue the Mac Pro.
I don't think so, actually, anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Who's buying the Mac Pro?
I actually...
Marquez Brownlee.
One Ultra Pro Max and an Mac Ultra Infinite terabytes of SSD
What about
storage,
people who
whatever,
actually
blah, blah,
need
blah,
more than
could do you better
64
than a
gigs
Mac
of
Pro.
RAM? If you need 128, 256, 512 gigs of RAM for some actual server grade tasks,
Yeah.
if you're running a server, you need that much RAM.
Though,
Oh god.
Maybe the
Jewish
Mac
hackers
Pro,
texting
some
me.
people use it because it's
Yo, Jewish hackers
customizable. You
texting
can just
me.
take
Oh,
the
yeah.
lid off of it and switch
Yo.
some parts around.
yeah.
You
Did
just
you-
said, what do I do, Gary? Tabby, hello? I've been trying to join and I can't.
Oh, son of a bitch. Just grow up and just mind your own business. For the love of God, the universe, and everything, and absolutely
Oh, he's
everything.
blocked now, so he's
Just
not gonna
mind
contact
your
me much
business,
longer.
hackers.
Yeah.
He's not gonna contact me much longer since he's blocked. What does this guy think he's gonna do?
He's gonna hack into the call, that's what he's gonna do.
This is gonna
Don't
take
care
some
what he does, Nicole.
meditation to get over that. He still won't mind his own business.
Well, I got my menu open ready to hit an X button if he pops in.
I'll get ready to. Alright,
In fact,
well.
actually, in case it does happen, I'm shutting my camera off.
I mean,
My camera's already off.
Yeah, so is
Been there,
mine.
done that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Anywho,
Yeah, I
what
still-
were we talking about?
the next Mac Pro, though. I have a bit of a bit of a concept for the Mac Pro, and I'm wondering if Apple is going to actually make the next Mac Pro quantum based.
Quantum based? What does that mean?
It means that I'm wondering if it's going to use quantum computing.
Oh, like the big stuff? The big box computers?
Yeah, because that would make sense for why it's taking so long.
Yeah, like what is taking us so long to call the M2 Max or whatever it's called?
It's because they're not. It's because they're not making. Yeah, it's because they've clearly got something else big planned up their sleeve.
Like it could be easy to just put an M1 Ultra chip into a Mac Pro and call it a day. So they might be doing quantum computing, actually.
They'd have to be doing... Yeah, because they would have to have something up their sleeve.
But wouldn't they have, like, patents for that? Wouldn't they have, like, business deals that have to be publicized? A bunch of documents being publicized about quantum computing technology? I don't think that's happened.
Maybe they haven't started yet, because they still have to wait until... They maybe haven't started patenting it yet. They maybe haven't started all that stuff yet. I'm sure.
Have they not like been leaked?
I'm sure I doubt that'll be quantum computing, but it makes sense as to why the Mac Pro is taking so long.
That's in the rare case that it would be.
Because it's easy to put an M2 Ultra in a Mac Pro. Or an M2 Extreme. It's hard to make a quantum computing chip. Alright, well, getting back on topic, so my Apple Watch, actually this was right before fall break. On the Friday before I got out of fall break, it hasn't done it since, but my Apple Watch was still showing and updating the temperature on the watch face, though nowhere else, without Wi-Fi or anything. And even when I went into the temperature thing, it didn't show it there, but it still kept on refreshing on the face. And only that time.
I mean,
that's
probably got some sort of connection from something.
No, I didn't have a connection, and I don't know what was going on there, because obviously at school, because my watch is GPS, and I don't bring my phone with me to school. And even if I did, I still wouldn't connect because I don't have a cellular plan. And even at school, you're supposed to keep phones off. But
At my school, I leave my phone in my locker. And I'm going to admit to you, I use my Apple Watch a lot more than I should in school.
Oh.
And definitely not for checking my health or whatever it is. I play games on that thing, if I have to be honest.
Did you text your Apple Watch face, Jordan?
Yeah, I did. I thought it'd be relevant.
Oh yeah. I wanted to make sure that was you, and not who. Alright, well, getting back on topic, there's apparently a new Apple TV coming out soon with an A14 chip and extra RAM.
There was already one last year. I doubt it would happen again in such a small time.
Again, is it really that hard to make? This will be a very boring...
Even if it'll be out here pre-ordering it all hyped up because they have an A14 chip so they can play Sneaky Sasquatch on Apple Arcade on their Apple TV.
Oh my gosh. Who even is subscribed to Apple Arcade?
Who is
Well, technically I am through my Apple One subscription, but I never use it.
Yeah, like if I'm able to find an active user of Apple Arcade within the next 24 hours, I will Venmo every single person in this podcast $50 if I'm able to find someone that uses Apple Arcade daily.
I don't have Venmo, so...
Yeah, I was joking.
Yeah, but that's how scarce Apple Arcade is. Like, if you're an actual active user of Apple Arcade, please comment that down below. Or Apple News Plus or Apple Fitness Plus. Those are two other scarce services.
Apple News, that's somewhat used.
Apple News.
But even
Plus
so.
is biased, I'm pretty sure, right?
I don't
Yeah.
even visit the news app. There's too much
My dad,
political bias.
Pretty sure I deleted it.
My dad, he didn't like it very much because it wasn't recommending opposite news from opposite views, so he wasn't too happy about that. And I told him, it's curated for you. Just search it up.
Yeah, how about the regular Apple News? I do actually know somebody who uses that, and that's my grandma. However, she's not subscribed to Apple News Plus, and I still have yet to meet somebody who actively uses Apple News Plus.
Nobody should subscribe to any news service.
On CNN.
Yeah, no one should. That's why CNN Plus failed.
Anyone remember CNN Plus? That's just 100% embarrassment for someone like CNN. Like 10,000, they only got 10,000 subscribers.
I only knew one
and
YouTuber
no
who.
one needed it.
I only knew one YouTuber who had it, and that's Matt from Shall I Stream It. Otherwise, no.
That's quite rare. Only 10,000 people had it, I heard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy it. Why
So
would
we
you pay
can
for
get
news?
live reporting throughout the day on our smartphone.
And it was even
Do that already.
it even had a confusing UI too.
How is it confusing?
Well, it didn't state what was clearly live and what was on demand, and it was also weird because a lot of the stuff from CNN still wasn't there. And speaking of CNN, Americans clearly don't trust it if the most popular CNN show only gets about 2 million viewers.
Me personally, I'm not going to comment any further on this before this turns into a political podcast.
It's already tagged
And we have
as
to mark it as explicit.
it's already bumped as explicit because of yours and Tabby Pears is swearing. So
I wasn't swearing.
yes, you were.
No, oh, fine. I
Yeah.
guess HE double hockey sticks is a bad word. I'm sorry if you're four and that hurt your feelings.
But either way, I was already gonna, or more importantly,
Okay, you're gonna have to cut that out. My
yeah,
chair
that's
just fell apart.
That definitely marked it as explicit instantly. You can turn this podcast explicit in 1 second.
You alright?
Oh,
Yeah, no joke, are you alright?
Yeah, you're gonna have to
Alright.
cut that out.
Don't worry. I'll be listening to every second of this.
Here, I'm actually marking it so you can cut it out accurately.
You know what's funny, right?
All
That's
right.
what we're talking
Let
about,
me
turning
see.
this podcast explicit.
yeah, and then
Someone
you
just
dropped an
dropped
F
it.
bomb.
And then his chair just...
Dude, my chair just fell apart.
That was funny.
My chair just like
Your chair fell apart? How is that possible?
fell off of it. Flying on the carpet. I see how that happened.
You okay though, right?
Yeah, I'm good. Happened to me a few weeks ago. Guess I should probably buy
Would you guys know by any chance what area code 463 is?
Nope.
That's Indiana, I believe.
I'm googling it right now.
I think it's like Marion
Indianapolis.
County, Indiana. Yeah, like Marion County, right?
463 is for Indianapolis.
Oh geez. Oh, guessing that's
Wow.
Jewish. Hacker.
Okay. He's trying to guess so hard what my actual name is, he's failing.
Is he even close?
No.
What's he saying?
What?
What does he think your name is? Is it even remotely close?
Wait,
I
what's
just
going
deleted
on?
it, so I have no idea.
What's going on?
So, the Jewish hacker.
Someone's trying to guess my real name.
Your real name isn't Alpha DeWolf.
Yeah, his real name is not Alpha DeWolf.
Yeah, I was joking.
Even though he does have a relative, Craig DeWolf, from that email that was going to give
Don't
him
know.
money.
Such a stupid scammer.
You are like you are you DeWolf has died. Did you ever check to verify that that was that Alpha DeWolf was his real name?
Okay, everyone, what's the craziest spam experience you've ever had? Spam, scams,
Today,
scams.
someone tried calling my home phone, so I made monkey noises at him.
Well, the Jewish hacker hacking into our call was one for me.
That's the craziest hack. Well, we're talking about scams.
When all of the time that Jordan was first here.
Oh, when he started like calling your like grandma or something.
No, he didn't do that.
Calling your grandma. What? I'm not calling anyone's grandma.
No.
The Jewish hacker. The
Yeah,
Jewish hacker called my dad, not my
hacker
grandmother. At least if
What did he say?
remember that time when he was just like, I will hack you.
I will hack you.
There's been a
if this guy actually gets caught, he could go to federal prison.
For
This-
what?
Harassment.
this guy. Technically,
Yeah,
the Jewish
like,
hackers.
maybe like jail or something.
If the Jewish hacker's in India, though, maybe he can't get arrested for harassing American
we
children.
all know he's using a VPN.
No, we didn't IP log him. He just, Teddy.
If
explain what he was
it's in
saying to you on
India, he could be spoofing it somehow.
No.
but we have like actual proof. Well, no one went and got his location or anything.
But
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But his English is so terrible that you can tell that we just assumed he's from India. And when I started speaking to him in Hindi, he confirmed it. Because he's spoken.
So he was speaking in Hindi?
Yep.
No, Teddy was, and then the Jewish
Oh,
hacker,
how are you speaking in Hindi? Were you using Google
Google
Translate?
probably.
Yeah, I was using Google Translate. That was the first time we had Mr. Maniac
Yes, you don't know.
on,
You probably
though.
don't know Hindi.
We got
It's a second language.
Though we got bugged by the real Mr. Maniac. Alright, well getting back on topic is alright, so the last bit of Apple news that I have before we go into just some other random news, and we can also, if you want to skip it, then we can just go straight into my my discussion section of my podcast. But YouTube was not exiting full screen mode on my iPad.
Did you try swiping on the video doing the button thing?
Yeah, I tried that. It hasn't been happening so much lately, though. It was happening a lot last weekend.
Sometimes when I open a YouTube video from like Google, it won't let me in a full screen. And it
Yeah.
won't let me swipe down in the menu play, so I have to tap the video and hit the button and make
Yeah.
it go, and then go back to the video and
Yeah.
it fixes it.
Yeah, it's annoying, but
Reinstall the app.
getting back on
It's not annoying.
topic here. So, first of all, there's just some boring other news. Like, there's a new energy rebate scam that tries to get your money on the phone. Dish and Sling lost Disney networks over a dispute. Surprise, surprise. And Amazon's new products. Now, this is one that I'm not going to gloss over because they released some interesting stuff.
What is it?
Well, just go on Amazon's website and look under Amazon Electronics and just browse through. They have a new Halo Rise, which is their alarm clock that's designed for health features. They have a new Fire TV Cube,
I'm literally on that right now.
new Kindle Fires, new Echo Dot.
They have new Kindle Fires?
Yeah, 7 and 8. Oh, and don't forget
Those
about the
things
new
are
Kindle
trash.
Trash.
And don't forget about the new Kindle Scribe, which is like a regular Kindle Kindle with a stylus.
Kindle what now?
Yeah, it's a regular Kindle with a stylus. It's called the Kindle Scribe.
Oh, Scribe.
Yep. and it starts at $340.
$339 for a 16 gigabyte e-ink. What?
Wait a minute, it's
No,
16 gigabytes?
16 gigabytes?
Even Apple.
Wait, for $300?
Apple got.
16 gigabytes?
Apple
It's
has.
gonna make a good frisbee.
Apple got. Yeah, Apple got rid of
Yeah,
16 gigabyte iPhones and 20 devices altogether in 2017.
Yeah, so they actually sell one $419, 64 gigabytes. 32 gigabytes is $389, and 16 is $369. With a premium pen, with a basic pen, $339. They have all
iPad's way better purchase.
Oh my gosh. Why would anybody. But one of my friends, the same friend who is collecting the Apple boxes, he also said that he also is getting an iPad 9th generation. Right before 10th gen releases, of course.
probably some sort of a deal.
Question his sanity.
Though, to be fair, he didn't really know any better, and as tech is obviously not a strong suit.
I thought he was a person collecting Apple boxes.
He did collect Apple boxes. He collects Apple boxes, or at least he did. Or no, he still collects Apple boxes because his goal is to, in 30 or 40 years, sell them for a lot of money.
They're all gonna degrade.
That's not... What? They're not... How are they gonna degrade if you keep them in a cool, dry environment?
Because they're not made to last 40 years.
Well,
That's what happens when they're made out of supposedly biodegradable and recyclable materials.
I mean,
I
my
could
Apple
see
Watch
them, like,
box
holding-
degraded in my hand.
I could honestly
Give me a
see
second,
them
I'm getting
holding
a call.
together if you
I'll be
keep
right
them in, like, a cool,
Getting a
dry
call.
environment.
Yeah.
You know. Especially considering how hard cardboard... Like, how hard the cardboard is that they make the boxes out of.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I don't think what the... Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to point that out because we mentioned that on a previous podcast episode. And... So yeah, and you should also check out the Halo Rise, which is their new bedside alarm clock that can track your sleep. It's...
What the hell?
Yeah.
Just wear an Apple Watch to bed and put an alarm on it.
Oh, a lot of people don't like to wear their watches to bed, including myself, and...
And what is Amazon doing with your sleep data? How the hell does it track your sleep data? If it's on your...
It has
if it's
it has
a bedtime alarm
sensors.
clock, is it like watching you all night?
Yeah. Yep. It's watching you all night. Probably
Who
delivery.
trusts Amazon with video of you sleeping?
No, there was no camera on it, at least that I can
Like,
see.
what is our friend Jeff gonna do with this data? Why the HE double hockey sticks does Amazon want to get into the business of tracking your sleep by recording you while you sleep?
It actually does have some special technology, though. I think at just $140, I'm sure... I still somehow think that's just recording you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd advise not getting it.
BS.
Yeah. And more importantly, Amazon sells Echoes as bedside stuff too. Like, Amazon is literally conflicting. The Halo Rise is conflicting. They're the Echo. Hello?
Jordan, you still here? What's going on?
He had to get a new Jordan. Jordan?
Yeah.
Oh, phew. We had to get a
What
new
happened?
Jordan, everybody.
Oh,
I blocked...
Why are there 4 people in the call? Why are there 4 people in the call? Oh my god. It's a hacker friend. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my old one. My iPad crashed.
yeah, it's your old one. Oh,
And
okay.
Safari crashed.
Yeah. All right, and so getting on back on topic, Tesla has a new humanoid robot, Optimus. Netflix has an ad-free plan rolling out on November 3rd. Elon Musk, and here's the real good Twitter news that I want to get to. So, do you guys want to talk about Tesla's new robot or Netflix's ad support plan before we move on to Twitter news?
If I had to be honest, no.
All right. Well, Elon Musk is.
I won't mind doing it if you guys do.
No, I don't want.
I have more interesting Tesla news than just a robot.
Yeah. All right.
Robot
So.
deal.
All right. So. Elon Musk is proceeding to buy Twitter for $44 billion.
Good.
Yep.
Maybe he'll fix
Oh,
it.
he's actually buying it?
Yep. And guess
Yes.
what Twitter is doing?
What are they doing now?
They're letting their blue subscribers beta test their long-awaited button.
The edit button.
Yep. They're
How
beta.
is it beta testing? They just want more subscribers for Twitter Blue.
They do,
I'm
but
surprised it's
They,
not
they,
for
like, how
robot.
hard is it to make an edit button that works? Like, I'm sure you could get that done within a week internally. You don't need your Twitter Blue subscribers to make sure it's working for you. They're just doing that to get more people to subscribe to Twitter Blue.
Gotta make sure it works.
yeah.
I mean,
Like, who actually subscribes for Twitter Blue?
like, I'm not saying it's a good purchase. I'm just saying it makes sense why they would put their longest.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I could see it making sense, but who actually pays for Twitter Blue monthly?
I don't.
Celebrities, my guess.
I used to in February, but ironically it was total BS and it wasn't doing anything good.
Why would you pay for that?
Don't ask me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but at least they're beta testing an edit button.
Yeah.
All right, and now I want to do a discussion on a controversial iPhone 14 feature, car crash detection.
How's it controversial?
Well,
Oh,
Roller coaster. I already read it on 9 to 5 Mac.
Oh, that's cool.
not. Well, okay, it's kind of cool how it can do that on a roller coaster, but is that practical?
well, the main concern is whether it works or not, because at the same time, the iPhone 14,
Your hand while you're on a
because in each test the results are dramatically different. In TechRax's test, it all succeeded. In Luke Miani and Sam Cole's test, it all failed. In Wall Street Journal's test, the only time they got to go off anything go off was an Apple Watch Series 8, which also has it, and that was just one time.
Yeah, you know how people are bringing it on a roller coasters and it's doing it?
Or no, it was an accident.
So it's happening, it's occurring at, like, I think Cedar Point.
Yeah.
I think. And let me just say, I live somewhere, a state near Ohio, and I've been to Cedar Point in Ohio. So let me just say that it's against Ohio law to bring a smartphone on a roller coaster, because if you drop it, it's gonna missile someone and kill them probably.
Yeah, they're already violating the rules.
Yeah, like, I've been to Ohio before, and I know that's against Ohio law to do that.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah,
Well,
car crash detection is definitely an interesting feature. I mean,
Yeah.
so far it has sort of been successful, but unfortunately, in terms of the saving lives aspect, it was already too late.
and more
There was one
importantly-
story I heard. Yeah, there was one story I heard where it was successfully able to detect a severe car crash, but unfortunately, all of the occupants in that vehicle had already died.
Yeah, that's tragic.
That is not wholesome whatsoever.
Just got a what?
That just sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, the incident.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back on topic. Oh, Jordan's typing something. Okay. Well, yeah. All right. So I've also got having a tough choice deciding what Apple Watch to get. Whether I should get the Series 8 or the
SE. Get
or
an SE.
no, or I'm not getting an SE. It's gonna either
Get
be
an Ultra. Are you doing some extreme sport like diving?
I'm gonna either get the Series 8 or the Ultra, though I'm not sure which one to get.
I beg you for the love of God. I beg you for the love of God to just get an SE. Like the biggest feature I'd say of this Watch Series 8 is car crash detection, and that's in the SE. And the other biggest features
the SE doesn't have the always on display in his Series 5.
And it's not all screen.
Yeah. His Series 5 has always on display, so he would be downgrading.
Even though I don't use the always on display.
But the only biggest feature I'd have to say the Apple Watch Series 8 is special health features.
Yeah, for women, by the way.
Yeah.
They.
Or for
I don't think any of us are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's just put it at that feature isn't gonna be relevant for any of us.
Yeah,
Let's just put it that way. That's the biggest feature.
Because we're guys, and of course, what's even more stupid is that, again, I mentioned this plenty of times before, but girls that are too young to be ovulating and women that are too old to be ovulating won't be. The feature will be useless to them too. Yeah, I know it's a bit creepy to mention on a podcast, but I just wanted.
I know this is your podcast, but my best suggestion for you is maybe let's just leave it at it's probably not going to be relevant for any of us.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that. That's my best suggestion.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, well, getting back on topic. Yeah, so I'm trying to decide whether I should get the Apple Watch Series 8 or the Ultra, because the Apple Watch Ultra, whilst it does have better battery life, it also does have the better durability, which I need. However, the standard Series 8, my big problem is money in this case, because it's not that I can't save up for an Apple Watch Ultra, but I have to save up for an iPhone 14 Pro, which I'll probably get around Christmas time, even though I'll be buying it myself. And after that,
How many gigs are you going to get on the 14 Pro?
256 or 512.
But
But getting back
Apple
on
Watch.
topic, I could just ask for a standard Series A Apple Watch for Christmas, so I'd still have to save for a few more months to get the Apple Watch Ultra. So it'd be about March by the time I got an Apple Watch Ultra and had enough money to do so. And I'm just debating if it's worth that kind of time, because at the same time, I have now 2 Macs that are out of commission that I have to repair, both my black and my white MacBook, and my legacy Apple device collection is starting to fall apart on me. So and also the fact is that I want to collect vintage Apple devices again.
What if you just wait until next year to buy an Apple Watch Ultra? You know, the prices go down, like next September or whatever.
my best recommendation for you is to get an SE. I have an SE.
No, I'm not getting an SE, Jordan. I've already decided that I do not want an SE at all.
The Watch Ultra, I'm telling you, that's a very poor choice. It's like so expensive.
It is
Yeah, but I
expensive.
mean, if it's going to last him 4, 5, maybe 6 years, then who cares if it's expensive? If it lasts, it lasts.
Yeah.
That's
However,
my point.
there's another rule that I have to deal with that is at my school. My school does not allow cellular Apple Watches, and Of course, the Apple Watch Ultra is automatically cellular. And with other Apple Watches, I could probably get away with that. Because, obviously, all they have is the red ring to indicate that it's cellular. But with an Apple Watch Ultra, it'd be pretty easy to tell that it's what it is. And the school might not like it. Especially that I'm trying...
If they don't, then just show them that it's not activated.
Actually, yeah, that's another thing that I could do, though. I'm just questioning whether it makes financial sense or not, and I also want to make this decision before I get my iPhone 14 Pro, since I'm going to either get a Midnight Series 8 or a just silver Apple Watch Series Ultra, and depending on what color I get my Apple Watch in will depend on what color iPhone I get too, because I want them to match. But responding to Tabby Pairs now. Number one, I don't want to wait to get an Apple Watch Ultra until next year because I still have to save up for it. And at that point, I need to start saving up for probably a new Mac. And besides, I just rather have it now than later. New Apple Watch now than later because I can't live with the Series 5 for much longer. Number two, again, a Series 7 on the refurbished store. Again, they have fastly degrading batteries, just like the Series 8, which is why I'm even considering the Ultra in the first place.
Yeah, I guess. And also, the Ultra would be cool to just have for a YouTube channel. You know, like, I mean,
yeah.
You have a tech YouTube channel, you gotta have the latest and greatest tech.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I have an iPad Air 5.
The iTunes fanboy, you gotta, like, live up to the name, bro.
Yeah, I do.
You gotta live up to the iTunes fanboy name.
Hey,
that's like the best Apple product.
What do you think? What do you think I should do, Alpha?
Well, the way I've considered the app... I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? All right.
Yep.
The way that I would think about a purchase like this... for me, when I was considering getting an Apple Watch in the first place, I just thought, okay, how is this tool being used? And I know that's the way that I treat most of my technology. How am I going to use it? And for me, I don't use my watch as like a professional grade tool, so because of that, I couldn't really justify putting that much value into it. So that was why I got basically the base Series 7. So the biggest thing that will basically determine whether you go Series 8 or refurbished Series 7 or Ultra, honestly, is just how much do you value having the best watch, and are you willing to pay for the best watch?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it might be worth the wait for the Ultra in the long run, because, first of all, probably not a lot of other people are going to have the Apple Watch Ultra, so it'll admittedly look cooler, even though I have the newest Apple Watch of anybody in my school. Well, second newest. And it'll just look a bit cooler. Jordan laughed.
Probably have to go.
Yeah.
What do you mean second newest? The Ultra is the newest.
Yeah, but the Ultra is just the best Apple Watch, and so I think it might be worth the wait, because at the same time, I still do enough stuff, that physical activity and whatnot, that the Ultra may be worth it for me.
Yeah, I think it would be worth it.
Yeah. Alright, well, another discussion I wanted to mention is that we can save this until the next episode if you want to, but I'm debating whether our podcast should still cover the latest tech news, because now if our episodes are taking like a week to get out, or several days...
It seems like we're just dozing off into random crap.
Yeah, exactly, because it's irrelevant by the time the podcast episode actually gets out.
I feel like we need to make like a time limit until we can get on track and be able to stay on track, like temporarily.
Yeah.
Well, my thing about the whole situation is we have so many topics that we're trying to squeeze in, but we also have so many thoughts that, yeah, they do sidetrack us, but...
To be honest, most of the topics are kind of stupid.
Yeah, well, I've got a bit of a suggestion. we have 10 total discussions of this podcast where we discuss the 10 most critical topics in tech news, and then if we need to cover any podcast news, for this podcast specifically, we'll do it, or for any of us, we'll do it. Though I think that would be the best suggestion.
Well, here's an idea that I thought of. What if each of us brought forth our own news to discuss?
Yeah, I think I like that. That's cool.
All right, that's a good idea, and we can take turns in the podcast episode. And all right, I like that idea. What do you think, Jordan?
I don't think that's a bad idea.
Yeah. Oh, and the last topic that we need to cover before we get to just a glimpse of TIFP news before we can sign off is, does TabbyCat406 want to tell about the letter that Verizon sent him?
Oh, yeah. Verizon decided it was a good idea to send me a letter 2 years after I got rid of Fios. More than 2 years. Trying to make me come back.
What did they advertise? Oh, wait.
I forgot what it was.
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. We've got you sent the photo, so...
Yeah, put that up on screen. Because it is stupid. I hate Verizon Fios.
Everybody does.
Xfinity isn't the best, but better than Verizon Fios. That's for sure.
Yep.
Well, it seems like I'll take anything other than whatever internet providers up here are giving us, because, oh my gosh, it's just been trash.
Yep. Again, you can move to Utah and get good internet.
I've actually been thinking of possibly moving to Colorado.
Colorado is
I don't
still
know why.
very snowy, you know.
Depending on where in Colorado you're located. If you're close to the Rockies, yeah.
Yeah, you could. I wouldn't recommend moving to my state if you want to get good winter weather, because in my state it's not snowy, but it's just too cold to be exciting at the same time.
What is it like in the summer?
The summer is the same as you guys are all used to. 90, 80, 85, 95, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, I don't know if Alpha should move to my state or not, though.
I won't share which state it is, and nobody knows which state my sister wants to move to, but believe it or not, my sister actually wants to move to your state.
Oh no, Ellie. At least if she doesn't want to move anywhere near me, then that's okay. Because I don't exactly want you guys to be near me.
Why?
Well, just mainly because it'd be awkward to actually know Alpha in person.
I mean, I know Elias in person, and he's,
Yeah, but Alpha and I have only met each other online. We didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the same with me and Elias until 9 months ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I met him on Instagram, actually.
Oh, Jordan just linked my state to Tabby Pairs, by the way.
Oh, I already knew it.
How did you know?
Jewish hacker said it on call.
Oh, yep.
Remember back when on the first call with Jordan Riddles, he was saying some.
Oh yeah. Well, I live
He was
in.
playing all the sauce audio.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. Well, now I guess everybody knows which state I live in now. Though I'm not gonna say
Except
it.
the internet, which is most important.
Yeah.
It's most important.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So, by the way, just one more piece of podcast news is that because of Applegecko's work schedule, Robert from Applegecko is not going to be on this podcast.
Well, you guys would have a fun time there.
What?
How much?
What'd you say?
Robert would have a fun time there. Alpha and Robert would have a fun time there.
Oh yes, they would. That's
Oh
why.
God.
And
I could only think of how.
He can do weekends, however, so Tag Pairs probably wouldn't be able to be available, which is why I canceled it, though. Maybe we could do it with me, Alpha, and Robert.
Yeah, dude, he would.
Yeah.
Quick
question, Alpha. Which region of my state does your sister want to move to?
I gotta figure out where that area is. One sec. Let me look it up. And my internet's gone so slow that it's not even loading the maps.
Oh, well, was it the place that your sister went?
I forgot. I got texting as an option.
Was it the place that your sister went? That's a
Sharpie.
Oh yeah, it's on the opposite side of the state.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, alright, well, are you guys ready to sign off for now?
I'm so tired, I really need to stop talking, actually.
Yeah, Tag Pairs and Jordan, are you guys ready to sign off?
Yeah. See ya.
Alright.
Yeah,
So,
I'm starving.
alright, thank you all I am too, and my MacBook's battery is almost dead. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the iTunes Fanboy Podcast. As always, we hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back here with another episode just whenever we manage to get another one out. And let's see if and our next guest scheduled to go on is Elias from Meowtech YT, so we are excited to see him there. He'll be returning for a second time, and the next episode probably won't have him there, though. As always, this has been another episode of the iTunes Fanboy Podcast. I'm Tay Magger, aka the iTunes Fanboy. And one of you guys is?
We got Tabby Cat 406, and then we got Alpha.
Yeah.
And
And
I'm
Jordan.
Jordan Riddles from the iPhone Fan Incorporated.
By the way, Jordan, did you get your name inspiration from my channel?
Like I said in May, the story behind where I actually got it was I was switching to a different website builder, and I was looking for a website. My previous name was sites.google.com/view/iPhoneFan. So I was gonna do iPhoneFan.com for the fourth release of my site, but iPhoneFan.com, someone else took it. So I did the iPhone Fan. And funny story, iPhoneFan.com is actually now available. So do you think you guys think I should change that to my website name for version 6? Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I still think that sounds a little bit like the iTunes Fanboy, but we'll let it go for now. As always, bye-bye.
Yeah, bye. Thanks.
See ya.